Continues in the disaster zone in Lahaina. We're learning more about what challenges and how Maui firefighters have been impacted.
And this morning, the head of the Hawaii Firefighters Association spoke about the night of the disaster and the ensuing relief efforts. Now, Union President Bobby Lee tells us 20 firefighters lost their homes while responding to the Lahaina blaze. And the next morning, the California Firefighters Union president reached out offering assistance and is helping send over RV trailers to provide temporary housing for those displaced. In regard to injuries, Lee says one firefighter is still recovering at Queens Medical Center, while 2 retirees remain at the Straub burn unit. Lee also discussed the horrific conditions facing crews the night of August 8th.
They're walking into a blowtorch. That's what you're walking into with that level of wind. Houses are on fire, and the fire is not going up. The fire is going sideways from house to house, which is a whole different environment. And then when you tack in the lack of resources, there's only so many companies there. And then you have water issues when now the water stops, and it just creates a situation that is so untenable. Firefighters, we are a family. We live in our stations. The stations are our second home. We are family. It doesn't matter if you're active duty or retired. We do take care of our own. You can run into a lot of retired firefighters out there that will still tell you, I might be retired, but I'm a firefighter. I might be retired, but I'm still a fire captain, And so our family runs very deep.
The trailers will be arriving in Kahului next week. Lee also says the union is offering mental and emotional support services.
And now we turn to the latest on the search efforts in a new